He's the Aussie who has become Britain's favourite TV vet.
The nerves are irreparably damaged, then unfortunately never will this rook be able to use the wing properly.
Ooh. I've seen a few of them in my career, but not as bad as that one.
That's the hip of a 10-year-old dog.
Set in a quiet English town, Dr. Miller's practice is anything but.
Whoa, okay.
The vet on the hill is committed to all creatures, big and small.
Look at that big smile you've got.
Caring for some very special patients.
There's Mummy. Colin! That's a fantastic name.
Taking on challenging cases.
Oh, my God, look at that!
You spat right in my mouth.
And saving lives.
What do we got?
Both at home
Keep that stethoscope on his heart.
and on the road.
And now Dr. Scott Miller has landed back down under to help our local wildlife devastated by the bushfires. And we're happy to say he joins us from Kangaroo Island in South Australia. Oh, good morning to you. God, look at that Joey.
Good morning.
Yo.
Having a little bit of an intimate moment with one of my patients. So,
We're sorry to
happy be here.
interrupt. But I mean, you've spent the last few days working with, some of our most vulnerable creatures. Just tell us what you're seeing on the ground there.
It has been horrific, to be honest. Anyone that's thinking, oh, that doesn't look too bad, honestly, they're completely wrong. When I first got here, we drove off the ferry to be surrounded by flames. You're driving down the roads, there's tanks coming down the other way, there's charred animals everywhere. It is absolutely horrific. And certainly working here at the field hospital that's been set up by SAVEN, which is the South Australian Veterinary Emergency Management Team, and also the Australian Army, they've been absolutely amazing. But look, I'll be honest with you, it is an animal apocalypse here. And anyone that loves animals will be, well, their hearts will be breaking. I tell you what, I was crying my eyes out last night. It was just awful.
It does seem to take its toll, right? And you're an experienced professional. For you to see it firsthand and to see what impact it's had on you says a lot as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely shocking. And what I've been so impressed by is the people of this island and the way that people have come together to support our wildlife. It's great to hear that the government's now coming out and giving $50 million to try and support the wildlife crisis relief. But honestly, I'm concerned that that's a drop in the ocean, because what we're seeing here is probably, well, they're thinking about 35,000 koalas just on the island alone have been lost, which is more than 50% of the population.
Wow.
But about 80 to 90% of the habitat has been lost. So the issue is not just with treating with all the burns, which we've been doing in this tent behind us, but it's their longer term care that's a worry. And there's a real distinct possibility that the next generation of koalas on this island will have to be in captivity, because it'll take that long for the forest to regenerate.
I mean, it is just devastating, isn't it, when you hear the figures and you hear that something like 1.25 billion animals have been killed during these bushfires. But then it's also, you hear these really heartwarming stories of like animals helping each other. And I was reading something, I think it was yesterday, about wombats allowing other animals to sort of, to come and hide in their burrows and protect them from not only the fires, but from predatory animals.
Well, that's right. I mean, in a situation where there's fires, then animals aren't going to be thinking about, controlling territory. They're just thinking about keeping alive. So, yes, smaller marsupials will be just running down those burrows. And yes, a wombat has saved a life there. But some of the fire services have been amazing here as well. They've been reporting like waves of different types of animals just fleeing from the flames, a wall of flames coming at them, and they're sort of running away from the flames, and the fireys are running towards them. So, animals are coming together as well as people. It really is just an unbelievable situation over here.
What does the future hold there, just not just there, but throughout other devastated areas where you're going to have animals raised in near captivity? How does that work? And when you get to a point where they need to be released, and when there's vegetation enough for them to eat?
Well, that's the thing, is this is a massive long-term issue. And what we're seeing is, yeah, absolutely, we're getting amazing donations. We're getting a huge amount of support. Dana and Sam, who run the wildlife park here, are absolute diamonds. Honestly, I think they should be getting the Order of Australia. I'm hoping they'll adopt me so I can stay forever. But they're going to need so much money, because they're treating animals now, but they'll also need to then look after them while they recuperate, and then the forests have to recover. And, you know, we're thinking that's probably at least 7 years for most gum trees to be able to produce the forage for these animals to eat.
Wow.
So these guys have a huge job ahead of them, and I am very concerned that koalas, up until now, have been classed as vulnerable, but we may have pushed them to being endangered off the back of these fires.
It's ominous, isn't it?
And as you say, it's a very long fight ahead. But Dr. Scott Miller, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for the extraordinary work that you're doing.